spotlighting the very best in Geneva College Golden Tornado Athletics. This is Tornado Tuesday. And now, here are your hosts, Van Zanik and Andrew Fee.
All right, welcome to Tornado Tuesdays. I'm Andrew Fee, alongside Van Zanik for another episode of Tornado Tuesdays here. Today we have Coach DeMarco and football student athlete Amos Luptak on the show, and really looking forward to those interviews. Both really great personalities, to say the least.
They're not shy in front of the camera. They like to talk athletics, and it's gonna be exciting. Yeah,
I think Coach DeMarco might be a little confused. I think he thought at the beginning that he was going to be on every week's show, so he kept asking me the last few weeks, like, is it my week? Am I supposed to interview? I'm like, Coach, just hang on, you're week 4, because when the original schedule was set up, we thought tennis was going to be playing. We thought track field was going to be playing.
Well, that's why in the previous weeks we had to kind of hide behind the corner over there because we didn't want Coach DeMarco to see us. So now we're just out in the top of the press box here, beautiful setting, and we got Coach DeMarco on with us today.
Yeah, the lighting isn't the best because it's a beautiful day in Beaver Falls, but we like to be outside and showcase the facilities. But, last week was the first week of practices, all the sports practicing. How did you feel about that? I know we talked about the anxiety a little bit going into that week.
Well, certainly wearing the two hats. As the athletic director, there was concern. I mean, there's no question. You're worried about how it's going to go, how people are going to follow the protocols in place, the mask wearing, the social distancing, making sure coaches are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And as a coach, I just want to get out there. And so I would say on both fronts, it was really, really incredible. I mean, I watched the coaches interact with the players. I watched the players do what they're supposed to be doing. There's exceptions. I mean, this is new for all of us. And so there's going to be little bumps along the road and things like that. But I will tell you, across the programs, what a great job the coaching staff did, the student athletes have done. And it was just great to be out there again this past week. And, we have 0 active cases on campus right now. It's the first time we can say that since school started. So just another example that the protocols we have in place are the right ones, and the fact that the student athletes and coaches and everyone across campus are doing the best they can to follow them.
Yeah, all students. I mean, really, you walk around campus, you see students abiding by the rules, caring for each other. And it's incredible to watch them come together as a community, because athletics wasn't happening, and there's just a lot more interaction with the whole campus body and the student athletes, which has been great to see.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, the athletic piece of the practice is certainly we want to get out there and we want to start preparing, get ready. But for me, even as important is getting the teams together socially. That's just something that was missed the first 3-4 weeks of school. And, you want to see these teams come together, start molding together as a group, have that interaction with coaches and student athletes every single day, because that's who we are at Geneva. We want to be able to interact with our students on a daily basis and play into their lives. And now finally we get an opportunity to do that.
It's amazing that I'm starting to think it's almost October. I mean, it feels like this year has just gone so fast because of everything going on. But we're approaching homecoming, which, it's going to be new for us. It's virtual this year, starting on October 8th, going to the 10th or 11th, actually. And, that includes our golf outing. It includes something we're doing this year called the Tornado Huddles, bringing reunions back together of different sports, having current student athletes, alumni coming together on Zoom. I'm really excited about it, even though it's going to be new. So definitely check out that schedule. That schedule went out last week via email, and check it out on Geneva's website, the homecoming virtual.
Yeah, it's going to be in a lot of cases. Sometimes it's difficult for alumni to get back that live at a far distance, and this will be an opportunity this year for them to connect with some of their former teammates and classmates and get on a Zoom call and interact with them, and not having to get on a plane to come here. So it's exciting in that respect. It's also obviously disappointing. Probably the signature day of the academic year is homecoming, and what it looks like if we had a day like this on a Saturday in October with all the activities going on, people in a packed stadium, those things. So it's disappointing in that regard. But we're doing the best we can to interact with our alumni and make it something worth remembering for them. And so we're looking forward to having that opportunity.
Well, coming up next is the interview with Coach Geno DeMarco. All right, welcome back to Tornado Tuesdays. We have the great opportunity to interview Coach Eugene DeMarco Jr. today, our head football coach in year 33 at Geneva College. Pretty
Are you
impressive.
counting the 4 years I spent as a student? That'd
No.
be 37.
It was only 4 years as a student?
4 years.
Okay.
What's one thought that you always go back to with your Geneva experience? Like, what's one word that would describe your 33 years here at Geneva?
First of all, you can't ask him to answer your question in one word.
One word. One word. Purpose.
And you can expand on that as well.
I think it's the greatest thing that this institution does is it allows a student to come in who has no idea who Jesus is, who has no idea maybe who Jesus is and doesn't know what they want to do in life. And because of a thing that we call vocational calling, and that to me is the greatest thing that this institution does. And we've seen it over and over with our players over the years, Van. You see it. And I think that's the thing that's just this place is definitely special. It's different. I really don't believe there's another institution like this in America.
Well, we're sitting here, Geno, above the football field, and obviously it's been challenging last several months for you, for everybody. The stands are empty. They're going to stay empty this fall. Just interested from your perspective, how challenging is it for you to be sitting at home on a Saturday, realizing that you're not getting ready for a football game?
It's just different things that you go through during the week. I mean, you've been conditioned for so long when you're in a job for almost 3 decades that the emotional and the physical manifestation of what happens during the fall, it's like with you guys. I mean, you can smell the grass cut in the spring, and you know that means you should be on the diamond, right? It's just those kinds of things. But honestly, I'm more concerned, quite frankly, with what's going on with our players. I mean, I got to fight this personal thing. That's this. But with what's going on with our players, because when you don't have an opportunity to bring 115, 20 plus another 10 coaches together for camp, Van, and get a chance to set a culture in motion, and to get them to at least see that although we got 135 different personalities, we're trying to accomplish one mission. That's the biggest thing that we've missed this fall, and we can see it readily.
Yeah, so kind of going along with that with this fall, I mean, I know recruiting usually for football happens late fall, early spring, but looking forward to, hey, we're going to play in the spring. How are you approaching recruiting right now?
Well, I mean, I know this is going to be put on the website, so it's going to be out, and everybody in the pack will look at it. You'll be surprised how many of our pack people look at it. So it's just a little bit of my paranoia, Van. You know that. You've been with me for a long time. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. The thing is, you got to be creative. You know what? This is the greatest thing about staying in a place for so long. People think, man, you don't like change. No, you have to have change to be able to stay in a place because things change. All right. And now we're in a situation where we don't have any past experience to build upon. So we got to have creativity. I mean, we're doing things like, going to practices. We're contacting coaches. We're trying to use Zoom like we did so effectively in the spring. And we're doing some other things that I don't want to put out there, but it does not involve giving kids money or cars. But it really, I think it's going to prove effective. Of course, we're stepping out of the boat onto the water, man, and you got to have a step of faith with this thing.
So what's the message to your players right now? Obviously, we're a week into practice. We can ask you how the first week went for sure, but how do you motivate a bunch of guys when you know you don't have a game for 6 months, and yet you're still having guys make a statement, trying to make a name for themselves in a program that for these freshmen it's brand new for them.
Oh, it's so brand new. I mean, it is so brand new. I think the biggest thing that you're trying to do in the fall is you're trying to take the 3 weeks of camp and put it into the fall so at least your players understand what kind of culture we have at Geneva football. and it's different from sport to sport, as you know. That is what we're trying to do. The other thing is, we've got kids that are being put into new positions, and we're tweaking some things. It's a great learning experience. As coaches, we want to go 100 miles an hour because we think we're playing someone a week from, a week from Saturday, and that's just not the case. That's the biggest adjustment. But with just evaluating players, I'll just tell you this: there hasn't been 1 year of football that I've been a part of where I haven't had a bunch of coaches come in after guys are running around with helmets, that they come in and say, "Coach, we got some really fast kids. These kids look great." Of course they look great. Van, if I put you in a helmet, had you run around, okay, I'm going to tell you, you would look great on the first 3-4 days. They would be in there talking about Zanuck as our B-back. All right, so now we get into the next step.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that, honestly.
Yeah, they would. I'm just telling you, it would happen. But so we got to go to the next step. Sorry.
So, we're obviously, like Van said, we're sitting up here above Reeves Field. The sunshine doesn't make for great video quality, but we wanted to sit up here
is that
for
about,
the effect.
Is that, again, another reference about my head?
It was not,
I do not
it
shave
could
my
be
head.
taken that
This
way.
is something that's occurred naturally over time.
We got brand new turf last year here. Just talk about playing in this stadium. Talk about the atmosphere on Saturday nights.
This fall or usually?
Last fall.
Here's
former fall.
Here's what you get this fall. Cricket, 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 cricket. During the fall, it is a great time for the whole campus. I just truly believe, when you got the student support, you got the county support, the community support, you got a marching band, and then you got a football. It's an event, and you guys know that it's been an event. We've created this over the years. And I got to tell you, I've had so many people in the community just, they wish that they were here. I think they're. No, I wouldn't say that, because I think people would probably watch the Steelers more than they would watch us. But I've had more comments about, man, I really wish you guys were playing.
Coach, why are you still here? And I know from the boss's perspective, that's a funny question. But in all honesty, because you and I are programmed very similarly. So, what makes you, and a lot of our staff? I mean, we have a very veteran coaching staff here in a lot of different sports. From your perspective, why are our coaches? Why do they have the longevity that they have? Why are they staying at Geneva? What makes them love this place so much that it's just their life? They've become Geneva lifers, as we say.
I think it's personal for us because we've gone through it and we've seen how this place has impacted us. I don't want to go into the whole thing about me, but I'll say this: we want to see that happen with our players, and sometimes we don't get a chance to see that that the seed is planted and somebody waters it, and then you get to see the growth while they're here. Most of the time, it's with the teams that we, talk to 5 years later. That's the biggest thing. This is the ministry of coaching. That's what it is. But as a competitor, this program was nationally recognized for many years, and we've got to get this thing back to where that's the case. So that's the thing. Those two things drive me every day, and I don't think they need to be mutually exclusive.
Speaking of the seed, Friday night we had a Zoom rewind party with the 09 team that won the Victory Bowl. It was quite an event over Zoom, to say the least. But, you talk about the success that group in particular has had now. Talk about that seed that was planted, and just what has happened to them over time is just incredible.
Every college is going to brag about the fact that they've got an oral surgeon. We had three engineers. We had 2 people who own their own business. Every college wants to talk about that. I want to talk about the kid who just barely made it, who came here and somebody said, "You can't do it here." And they did. Those are the kids that I want to talk about. Those are the kids that don't get recognized, at most institutions, at hardly any institutions. And those are the kids that when they go out in life, they've changed the trajectory of their family for the next generation upon generation. Those are the kids, to me, that That's what Geneva does.
So I'm not going to let you off the hook before we're done, just in terms of expectations. I mean, we're looking forward to what we hope will be a season in the spring, 5 games,
Right.
the way the schedule plays out. What do we expect?
Here's the thing: you win a championship by staying healthy, holding on to the football, and not letting people throw the ball.
And holding on to the football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And holding on to the football.
Yeah.
That's been a challenge.
What?
All 3. I know where you were going with
What
this.
did I say? What was the second one I said?
Hold on to the football. We
Yeah.
were just emphasizing that point.
Oh, yeah. So hold on to the football, hold on to the football, hold on to the football.
Yeah.
I mean, we can hold on to the football. We did it for 36 minutes last year. But at some point, you can't let people throw the ball over your head, and at some point, you got to get the ball in the end zone. And the biggest thing that no one knows is the fact that we've taken, I think, great strides, and you've been part of this, on how can we attack this injury thing. So we specifically changed the way we train. We've bought equipment that really helps against concussions. Our training staff has been upgraded so the kids can get back on the field. I got to tell you the truth. We've lost games in the last 5-6 years because our best players have been on the sideline, and some younger kids have been put in. And that's where it comes down to. So I'll just say this. I mean, I'm looking at this 5-game season like I would at any season. And we're prepping for it now. And it's the biggest prep time, and I can't thank you enough for being a representative for the AD Council and pushing this thing through, because it's a great idea, and Dr. Trout for doing the same thing. I know as football chair, our guys really, really – these are grown men who just don't – right now are like, I got to go home, and my wife's got a list of that's one great thing about playing on Saturday is that list tends,
Yeah, you're at home on Saturday doing laundry.
Not laundry, but everything but.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Coach DeMarco, thanks for spending some time with us today. We appreciate your work at Geneva. We appreciate working with you most days. You challenge us in new ways, but we appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Well, I can't tell you how great this is. This is really nice. To be out here in the sun, in front of a beautiful facility, sitting between 2 guys who annoy me occasionally. I want you both to know that. I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This week's Tornado Trivia question is, what institution did Geneva beat in 2007 to earn their 500th win as a football program? Geneva beat LaSalle 29-7 for its 500th win. It was also Coach DeMarco's 98th win overall. Welcome back to Tornado Tuesdays. After our interview with Coach DeMarco, we're joined with football and men's basketball student athlete Amos Luptak. So maybe we can use this interview for both shows. We'll just change the name on your shirt. But from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. So Amos, talk about, everyone knows the story that you transferred from another PAC school, came to Geneva, had to sit out a while. Talk about that experience and what Geneva so far, how that experience has been.
It's really been great. I transferred over and with some doubts, kind of a little scared what was going on. I had that year off where I couldn't play any sports, and ever since, though, Geneva's been so good to me with friends, relationships, the coaching staff, the teachers. Everyone's helped me out trying to, get me to the next level in my life. But not only that, while here with athletics, trying to help me succeed in any way I can possible. And with Coach Jeff and with Coach DeMarco and with everyone around, just being able to help me do both and kind of balance the schedules, it's really been great for me.
What was the draw, Amos? I mean, why Geneva? I mean, I know it's somewhat local for you, but I mean, was there other reasons behind that too?
I when I was transferring from Washington Jefferson, they only wanted me to play one sport instead of both. And when I was looking around, I knew I wanted to stay local. And just going through the recruiting process and growing up, Geneva's always been ready to Quaker Rally games for. I remember my brothers got recruited, all my friends got recruited, and just whenever I was getting recruited, both Coach Jeff and Coach DeMarco were nothing but polite. obviously care about the program, but more importantly, they really seem to care about the kids here, their development, no matter if it's with their development with faith or their development with how they are growing up as men. It's just something different they don't see everywhere. And so when you're transferring, you know that you want somewhere safe, that you know that you're going to have a great experience, that you may have had doubts somewhere else. And with that being the case, and especially, like I said, it's like 20 minutes away from me, couldn't have been any better.
So, yeah, you kind of alluded to it, but balancing schedules with two sports, and I know you're involved with a lot of different things around campus. How do you do that? What would be your advice to someone who's trying to do that in college?
The big thing is communication. I've had it before where you kind of forget to tell the coach you have another practice, and there's some problems that happen. But no, it's just really communication, making sure that both coaches know each other's schedules. With Coach DeMarco and Coach Jeff, they talk to each other a lot, so it makes it easier. When it comes to the school aspect of it, I always say you kind of have to get your schoolwork done during the day rather than at night, because during the day you're going to get caught up with other things. I mean, you're going to have time to do it because you have time between classes and eating. Now, I talk a lot, so sometimes it doesn't happen as much as I wish it would. But, at night you just get tired, and with both sports, you're going to have a 6 a.m. something at some point in the off season. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing though is enjoying it. If you enjoy it and you don't think about how tired you are, or you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, then you're going to have a great time doing it. And I've learned that you're going to get tired, but when I say I'm going to get tired and I say I don't want to do it, I end up hating it. And so just kind of the outlook is what makes it what it is, truly.
How different has this been for you this semester, the last several months that we're going through? And, we talked with Coach DeMarco about going through how strange it is on a Saturday to not be on the football field or thinking about being on the football field. So how's it been for you? I mean, quarterback, you're used to preparing on a daily basis, getting ready for a game, and, it's just everything's kind of changed.
It's different in a lot of ways. Different in a lot of times I just spend my free time even in there just studying film, and you have a routine of what you do every day. You wake up, you lift, go to practice. In between practice, you do homework, and then you get some study in with the coaches on film study. Well, now there's none of that, and so I sometimes feel like I'm a lost dog walking around campus, kind of looking for people to talk to entertain. So I met some cool friends along the way today this year that I probably wouldn't have in most years, honestly. But I mean, aside from that, we all know it stinks.
Yeah.
But you got to look around and realize that we're in the campus, and because we can't really do much off campus now, everyone's together more than ever. And so a lot of coincidence. We had the 3-on-3 thing the other day, and it was just awesome. You're meeting freshmen that you wouldn't probably meet, most times. And usually on this time, Coach Marcus said it, football team's together, football team, and you don't really talk much to the other teams because you're trying to meet each other and you're trying to know each other. Well, now it's like, you're meeting football guys, but you're also meeting a freshman baseball player, or a freshman girls soccer player, or a freshman girls basketball player, or a freshman who just is in the marching band. And so you're meeting these new people that I kind of like it, honestly. It's like nice seeing a lot more of the campus than you usually do.
Yeah, very mature outlook. Do you think you would have had that outlook a year ago or 2 years ago?
No, probably not. 2 years ago when I didn't play sports, when I was here, last thing I wanted to do was hang out with someone who didn't play sports. I was like almost avoiding those people, and now as I'm older, I realize that those are probably the nicest people that I know.
So you're through 1 week of practice for football. So it's got to feel good to be out there doing your thing. Not really a whole lot of contact or anything like that at this point, but still it's got to be good to be out with your teammates. I think, we talk to these people about what they remember about their Geneva experience, and it's always the time in the locker room with our teammates and spending time. So it's got to feel good to be out there.
Oh, 100%. And I think it's funny, you're out there, and like Coach said, it's like camp. You're out there, and you don't know half the kids' names. You're looking at people and you're wondering, who is that? Where's he from? What's his name? What does he even play?
And then he puts a mask on. You can't even see who it is.
Yeah, the mask, so you're just yelling at air. Hey, right over there, and just kind of waving to him. But no, it's great. Being out with the guys, we're having fun. We're enjoying. And as Coach said, we're acting as though that we're going to play tomorrow, and he's made it very clear with everyone. This is truly camp with spring ball, and during camp and spring ball, a lot of positions are made that way. And so as a player, you don't take it lightly, because you understand that there are people who are coming in who are freshmen who are starting to understand the system, and you're watching. We've got a great class, and you're watching how athletic they are, how good they are. And then there are players who played last year who are fighting positions as well, and like myself, and you're you're just trying to, the competition's there, and every day you just got to get better, and you got to take it seriously, or else, with how deep we're starting to become, you may get passed up along the way. So it's the competitiveness is there, the edge is there with everyone. It's just finally nice to be out there with everyone that we can see each other all at once, because some of these guys I haven't seen the whole year, with the way that lifting goes and everything. And I saw Frankie Senafani the other day, and I think I saw him since before we left for school last year. So it's funny how it all works and how now finally we're coming together and you can feel the season coming around right now.
Well, last question, Amos. Looking forward to next semester, 5 football games, basketball starting after January 1st. How are you feeling about that?
I'm extremely excited because there will be absolutely no breaks in the schedule. And so, I mean, who doesn't like playing games? And I was telling my roommate, Joel Stutz, the other day, I said, the great thing is won't be a lot of practice. I mean, as coaches, and I bet you guys know, practice is great and all, but you want to play in the game.
You want to compete.
Exactly. And so now with all this
talking about practice?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Talking about practice. And with all this condensed schedule now, you're going to have games, maybe 3 times a week, which I'm going to love. Going from basketball games, possibly with maybe not even a week in between the football game.
Well, that's what I want to see. And we're gonna put this schedule together here soon for the spring. And I want a basketball game on a Thursday, and I want a football game on a Friday. And that has been done one other time, is from when I was here. And Jerome Moss played basketball and football, and he did the same in the same week.
That's awesome.
And that's the only one I know of that's at least since I've been here a long time. And I would love to be able to see the pull off the parlay.
Well, I think Coach Jeff wants to see, because if we're playing that late, that means that we're
doing pretty well.
We're doing pretty well.
That's right.
Now, Coach DeMarco, he may not want to see that. I don't know. He's a little biased.
I can tell you, he does not want to see it.
But hey, I'm okay with it. I think, like I said, Coach Jeff, he'll love it. He'll be done for a year, and so he used to watch the football field and have no. You won't be able to cringe when I get hit or anything. That's like right. Last year. Last year I got a lot of, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "It's a triple offense, kind of hard."
Well, Amos, thanks for spending some time with us. It's been great to watch you mature and become a leader on this campus, not only in athletics, but as the whole campus body. So
thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to Tornado Tuesdays. 2 great interviews with Coach DeMarco and Amos Luptak, as we expected.
Yes.
Great personalities, a lot of fun, a lot of joking around, but a lot of good content. And it's really great to see Coach DeMarco's passion. Even 30-some years later, he still has that burning competitive passion in him about Geneva football.
Yeah, he has an incredible drive, and that's what makes Geno Geno. And that's why we love him, and that's why sometimes he's challenging to deal with, but he loves the students. He loves his athletes. He would go to the ends of the earth for any of those guys at any moment. And, we talked about the Zoom call Friday night and the way those guys still 11 years later are interacting with Coach DeMarco. It's lifelong relationships that he builds. And as a result, these kids they benefit from it for sure.
I think it's important, though, when you think of Coach DeMarco, you always say the student athletes too, but he cares about his assistant coaches just as much. He treats them just like his players. Obviously more professional than that, but he just cares for them. He wants to see them have success. He wants to see them have a great family life, and that's really good to watch as well.
And students. We didn't mention the fact in the interview. He's a business professor. He's teaching twice a week in the business in the business major, and he interacts with the non-student athletes just as well. So Geneva is just the benefactor.
Yeah, as someone who took his class twice, business class twice, he put me in a bad group the first time, so he said, take it again and you'll get a better grade, and I didn't. He gave me the same exact grade, and I sat through it for another semester. I can say he actually is a very good business professor. He obviously knows his stuff from when he worked in the industry, but he's very passionate about business as well, just like football. He takes it very seriously. But I wanted to look back on this date in Geneva history, September 22nd, 2007. Geneva played their first ever home game on the new synthetic turf on Reeves Field and defeated Bethany 28-13. The GTs rushed for 339 yards, and Matt Dean led the team with 102 yards rushing and a touchdown. That was the 499th win as a program. And the trivia question this week is, who did they beat for their 500th win?
And you asked me off the air, and I couldn't remember. But when you told me LaSalle it was the 500th win, so absolutely. And we had a 2-year contract with LaSalle. We played them once home, once away, and beat them both times.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to next week. No student-athlete interview next week because we have 2 coaches, both basketball coaches. Coach Grinder going into his 2nd season, and Coach Sanacera going into his, I have no clue, season. So we're looking forward to those interviews.
Yeah, a lot of excitement surrounding both programs. Obviously, Coach Grinder in his 2nd year, you look for them to make a step forward based on the system that he implemented the first year. Got a big freshman recruiting class coming in for sure, so excitement there. And obviously the men's team coming off a great run in the postseason that saw them get to the conference championship game. So a lot of excitement. Those teams are, we mentioned we're getting close to October. Well, their practices are going to be kicking off here soon too. So I'm looking forward to talking with both of those guys next week.
Well, thanks for watching this week. We're looking forward to having you on next week. Have a good week.